welcome everybody to Exercises for Seniors. And today is, I think, the 8th or 9th of June. And we had a whopper of a rainstorm last night. Thank heavens, our plants in our gardens are loving it. And it's COVID season. And because of that, we are in a special guest's backyard today. We're outside today again, but we're not at my house. We're in Brian's house. Hi, Brian.
Hi there. Morning.
And how long have you lived here?
22 years.
Well, you did a great job with your garden.
Thank you.
We're going to do a little tour of the garden. Maybe I'll stick the tour at the end of the exercise routine, and then you can have a look at it while you're just sipping on your water. We're going to start with a warm-up. Are you ready to go? But before I start off here, I'm going to take my shoes off, because Brian's got a great deck. Brian's going to wear running shoes. That's okay. How old are you, Brian?
79.
79. I'm only 70, almost 4. Yeah, but we're ready to go. We like exercises. So you just follow along with me, and we're just going to do some step touches. So back and forth, taking our time. We're warming up our body, turning on all the muscles. And if you notice, I'm using my arms too. Now, I'm not going to worry about whether or not I'm doing it exactly right. I'm not in a dance class here. I'm just working the upper part of my body and the lower part of my body at the same time. Why not? Instead of standing here like this, I might as well move my arms too. But the muscles in the lower part of my body are bigger, like the quads and the hamstrings. The hip flexors in the hips, they're bigger. So you have to warm up the lower part of your body for sure. And then Brian was saying, because he watches a lot of these videos, that I sometimes say I'm only going to do 10 step touches, but I end up doing 40. And that's okay, don't worry about that, but I'm going to just take my time, and every once in a while I'm going to switch to a different movement. And you just switch whenever you're ready. So notice I'm bringing my elbows to my knees. And if you're down here doing this, that's still great. As long as you're moving, you're getting oxygen to your blood or your muscles. Great work. It's such a nice day today. 40. Well, let's change it to this one here. Let's kick our butt and push our elbows back. These are called ham curls or hamstring curls because we're working our hamstrings. They're the muscles between your bum and your knee on the back of your body. And when you straighten your leg, you're working the hamstrings. When you bend your leg, you're working the hamstrings. Let's try this one. So I'm sticking my straight leg out to the side, lifting it off the ground, and crossing my arms in the front. By the way, anytime we do any kind of crossing, are you okay, Brian?
Yep.
This is a little bit of a balance challenge, but anytime we do any kind of a crossing, we're turning on our brain. Notice I'm going to cross in front with my feet and my arms, turning on my brain. We got two sides to our head, our brain. Why not use both of them? Most of the time, we only use the dominant side of our brain. So if you're left-handed, that would be right. If you're right-handed, that would be left. So notice what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to keep with the arms the same, except that I'm going to cross behind. So when I say a cross or cross, I mean this is the prime meridian energy highway going up and down vertical like this. So I want to cross that middle line, that middle highway. And I'm not just pulling these warm-up exercises out of a hat. These are exercises that have been around for years. This is a lunge. My arms go up into the front. I can cross them when I go up to the front. Don't worry about crossing them behind because we don't want you to fall over. A little bit of a lunge here. Getting warmed up, you feel that in your breath? Good work. Now I'm just going to kick my feet out in front. Let my arms do whatever they do. Yeah, but as I kick my feet out, I'm going to raise my legs a little higher, if I can. Maybe flex my foot. That means point my toe to my chin as I lift my legs. Good. Let's move the arms a little bit more now, because we're going to plant our legs, plant our feet into the deck for a minute here, and we're going to work the upper body. And it looks like this. So I put one leg back on a 45-degree angle and the other leg forward, looking straight ahead, and then I just reach, but I don't move my feet. So I'm reaching, working my back, my shoulders, lots of goodies in my hips. It's just a forward reach. But you want to work out with intention, which means you have to know why you're doing what you're doing. If you just walk around all day long, keeping busy, or you're at work and you're physical at work, that's all good. But you could still hurt yourself if you haven't worked out the muscles with intention in your body. So that's why you do a special exercise class and learn how to move all the parts of your body, so that if you ever get into a precarious situation, let's try the other way, Brian. So I'm just going to switch legs. One's out in front, one's on a 45. Reach, look straight ahead and reach. So I'm bending really far forward because I'm warming up here. My arms are going way back and way out in front. I'm spreading my fingers. Good work. Just 3 more, 2 more, and we'll call that the warm-up. So anyway, I feel warmed up. We're going to start off with the shoulders. So the first thing we're going to do is just stand at attention here with our arms at our sides and our feet shoulder width apart and our toes are pointing straight ahead, right? And we're going to just take our arms up and see how high we can get them. Can we get them right up over our heads? Or are they straight? Good. Let's take them down slowly and keep going and go back with them to the back. Stand up straight. See how high you can get them. Like, I'm not bending over like this. I'm just standing up straight, trying to, and then go up again. And we're not in a hurry. It's with intention, remember. We know why we're doing this. And slowly go to the back. And let's try it one more time. I like to do things in 3s. Sometimes in 10s, but sometimes in 3s. Keep the arms straight right overhead and come down again. And back. Okay, this time, when I go up, I'm going to do something with my hands. In other words, I'm not going to squeeze them. I'm going to turn them at the wrists. So it doesn't matter how, but you can turn them when you get up or turn them on the way up. But when we get up here, let's turn them using our wrists. So my palms are forward and they're facing in and then they're facing out. I'm turning my hands at the top. Okay, as I come down, I'm going to turn them. Keep going, right to the back. Keep turning them and twist them. Maybe we'll hold it there for 3, 2, 1, and then come down slowly. Keep twisting. Keep going. Why are we twisting? Because we have a rotator cuff joint rotates in the shoulders. And every time you twist your hands like this with a straight arm, down again, one last time, you're working your rotator cuff. Go to the back, slowly. My fingers are apart. Try not to worry about all of that. Just twist your arms and your hands and come down again and stop right there and shake that out. Good work. Let's take our hands and put the fingers together and put it behind our head, but don't touch the head. Just get it behind like that. And then all I'm going to do is push back. Push back. Stand up tall. Push back. Push back. There's 4. There's 5 pushes. There's another 6, 7,
Pretty tight here.
8, 9, 10. Good. Relax. Shake it out. So now I'm going to put them together behind me. Same way. I interlock my fingers. Put it behind me where my lumbar spine is, right there. Right? My arms are bent a little. I'm going to push away. I'll turn sideways. Push away. Push away. There's 4. 5 already. Stand up tall. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Shake that out. So I'm going to take my arm, put it out in front of me, and with my palm facing toward Brian there, or whatever you want. You can have your palm facing that way if you really want to, but let's just have it in a nice, relaxing, neutral position, and take my arm back as far as I can and bring it to the front. Now, I didn't turn my hips, didn't turn my body. It's all about the shoulders. Back we go. Take your time. So while your wife or your husband's giving you instructions for the day, if you're lucky enough to still have a wife or a husband, you could stand there and do this. Because you can do these exercises almost anywhere. And one more, that's it. Good, shake that out, try the other arm. I'll just step forward a little bit so my palm's facing that way. I can face it that way and try it. It's just a little bit more uncomfortable and strange feeling. I could switch, I could go this way and push it back that way. Pull it forward with the palm, push it away with the palm. Try to relax my shoulders. I had my shoulder way up here, I gotta relax. It should be flat across from shoulder to chin to shoulder. Keep the shoulder relaxed. They say relax your shoulders, down and relaxed. One more. Yes, I do count. Good, relax, shake that out. Now this time, I'm going to turn my hips. So my arm's out here again. I'm going to take it back. I'm going to watch my palm to see how far I can go. I'm going to twist at the hips, and I'm going to lift this heel on the opposite side so I can go further. So I look back and see how far I can go and come forward slowly. See, I'm using my oblique muscles on my sides to twist, and I don't want to go too far at first, even if I can, until there's lots of oxygen in the muscles in my obliques. When they're warmed up, my range of motion will get bigger and I can twist farther. Yeah, I'm watching. I'm going almost right straight back now. I can almost see Brian back there with my arm. Just do one more. Take your time. Good work. Whoa. So it's a twist, oblique muscles on the sides of your body. I'm using my hips to help me turn, and my other leg. I'm lifting my heel up and I'm turning and seeing how far I can go. So you can lift that that heel up, Brian. Yeah, that's it. And you might be able to go even further. So I just keep my arm parallel to the floor. I relax my shoulders. And my range of motion on that side seems to be even a little bit better than on my right side. So that means I'm a little bit out of balance there. I don't want to be out of balance. So if my weak side, let's just do 2 more of these. If my weak side is, say, the right doing the twist, I would work that a little bit harder. One more. Good work, good work. Shake that out. And we'll do one more before we pick up our broom handle or our stick. Okay? This time I'm going to take my arm and swing it in front. It's just like a pendulum, right? It's pretty straight. It's not bent. It's just hanging there. The weight of my hand is pulling it down. And I'm going to go up a little higher, both ways. I'm still standing with my feet shoulder width apart, looking straight ahead. Okay. Can I go all the way to the top and come back down, go all the way to the top the other way? Working the shoulder, all the parts to the shoulder. We've got deltoid muscles. I think there's 3 of them in the shoulder. Okay, this time we're going to go all the way around like a clock. Keep going. Just a few of these. And then let's go the other way, all the way around the other way. Yes. Yeah, we got those deltoid muscles in the shoulder. We got the rotator cuff joint in the shoulder with a few muscles here and there. Good, shake that out. Let's try this one. So we'll just go out like a little clock here. Some bird tried to shit on Brian and I. That's a neighbor's bird because it came out of the neighbor's tree. I'm going to go all the way to the top already because I think my arm on this side must be in better shape than the right because it seems to be easier for me. Yeah, we've also got the trapezius muscle too in the shoulder. But it's so big, it goes from your neck into your shoulder and then into your back, covering your shoulder blades. Let's go all the way around. We can do it with a straight arm, maybe 3. And then we'll go the other way when you're ready. Let's go the other way now. Just do 3 of them. There's 1. Notice we're not going too fast. 2 and 3. Good. Now we're going to get our stick. Anyway, we got these green garden sticks. I guess if you have a really tall plant and you want it to stand up tall and not blow from side to side or whatever, keep it tall, you put this stick in the ground beside, tie a little string around it, and it holds it in place. And so you can get them at the garden center. I tried to get them at the dollar store, but they didn't have any. And I think it cost me $2 for one of these. So they're very inexpensive. So the good thing about them is that they're pretty rigid, they're pretty strong. They do bend though. And I'm going to hold it out in front of me. So Brian, you're going to hold it out with your hands in front of you as wide as you can get it. Okay? And then you're going to put it, if you're using a broom handle, it would have to be a pretty long broom handle because if it's shorter, you're going to have more trouble with this exercise. First of all, your arms have to be straight. So even if it was that long, you're going to have a lot of trouble. So I'm going to stretch my hands way out here, standing in neutral. I got it on my belly button. I'm going to lift it up. And I'm going to try to go over my head a little bit and come back down. Now I'm coming up. My arms are really straight and it goes past my head. And I can feel my shoulders unhinging. This is called a shoulder unhinge when you do that. Now some of you might go, well, Robert, I can lift it up that far and that's it. That's still okay. Because if you keep practicing lifting it up that high, eventually you'll be able to go maybe 1 millimeter or 1 inch higher. And then eventually you'll be able to get it up to the top of your head and then back all the way around. Because you know where we're headed. We're going from the belly button to the lumbar spine with our unhinge. And then all the way over again. So I'm watching Brian in the camera and he's doing really well. I don't think you do this exercise very much, right, Brian?
No.
No, but it's a good one to do for your shoulders.
It's hard to get beyond the back of your neck.
Yes, it is. And that means that you'll just have to work at it, and then your flexibility in your shoulders will be that much better if you can go all the way to your lumbar spine. In fact, if you don't do this exercise and you slip and fall, maybe somebody pushes you, maybe it's icy. If you don't do the unhinge, you will hurt your shoulders. Okay, one more. And then we'll have a little rest. And notice we're not going very fast. Good, good.
That's a killer.
It's a killer. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put the stick behind me and I'm going to hold on to it at the top and the bottom, however it feels comfortable. So I'll show you. It's behind me, right? There it is. So I got one hand up here at the top, one at the bottom. I'm going to do the slide. I call it the fireman's slide. So what I do is I just bring my hands together and then slide back up. Or you can slide down to bring your hands together and think of yourself as a fireman and or a firewoman and you're trying to save the world. So I'm sliding up and down. I'll show you what it looks like. And sometimes I slide so far that I get to the end of the stick. But the goal here is to get your hands together. Can they reach? So I'm going to watch Brian and see if I can see his hands getting closer. They're doing great, Brian. All the way up as far as you can, then all the way down as far as you can. Yeah, he's even better than me with that getting the hands together. He's got more flexibility. Okay, now I'm going to stop doing this in a second and move on, just because I think it's going to rain. But normally I do about 10 of these. If I'm by myself, say I'm just sitting in my yard enjoying my garden, and I think, hey, I'm going to pick up that stick and do some fireman slides. Just do 10 of them and then put it down. Okay, bring it around, front, relax for a sec. So we're going to grab it again with our hands nice and wide, and we're going to bring it up over our head, and then we're going to bring it around behind us and back like so. Okay, so I'm making circles in the air, so it's kind of going around behind me and in front. Now if I want to exaggerate this, I can bring it way down here, use my hips, and way back there. I could, but not yet. We're just going to do this part, little circles with the stick over our head. And if you've done a few of these, go the other way. There's always a complementary muscle for every muscle. So your biceps have triceps, your quads have hamstrings, and so on. So you've got two sides to your body too. Good work. Good. There are lots of exercises you can do with this stick, and stay tuned to another exercises for seniors. We're still with the shoulders. We're still doing the shoulders. I have 2 lemons. Bought them at Food Basics. They're nice and soft. That means they're ready. They're juicy inside. They're ready to use. But there's one for Brian. He can keep it. So Brian, we're just going to put this out in front of us. Right? Now watch closely. It's not complicated. We're going to take it to the side. Don't worry about whether the arm is too straight. Just take it to the side. Oh, by the way, the lemon likes sunshine. That's why it's yellow. Like sunshine, just like we do. I take vitamin D when it's cloudy out, so I can get my sunshine from a pill. But anyway, so I want to keep the lemon pointing to the sun. Keep it pointing to the sun. Bring it back behind you. Bring it around your head. Keep it pointing to the sun. Come across and in front. And then we'll unwind the way we came. Keep the lemon pointing to the sun. Here we go. Phew. So I got it out this way, over my head, pointing it to the sun, bring it across the front, weave it in front of my body, and then go back the way I came. That's the exercise. It's called the lemon. Does it have to be a lemon? Well, a lemon is a superfood. An orange isn't. Even though oranges are good for you, vitamin C, you get vitamin C from lemons too. But lemons can be used to clean your toilet or your sink. Lemons can be used if you have acid reflux. If you've got acid reflux, instead of taking one of those pills that are damaging lots of body parts, let's do one more of these. So I got to unwind first, one more. So here I go. I go out to the side, behind, overhead, curve around, and go back the way I came. Have you got it, Brian?
That's a killer.
It's a killer. So you do it to the best of your flexibility in your shoulders as you can do it. So I'm doing it on the other side. So I got it in this hand. He said, go out this way, keep it pointing to the sun, go around behind me, bring it across the front and out in front of my belly button. And then go back the way I came. Now, if you've ever had any shoulder issues, like say dislocate or a tear in your rotator cuff or something, and you can do this after they've fixed you and you've gone through all the physiotherapy, then you're in great shape. But don't force it. If you can't do this, if you do any kind of exercise, especially this one, and there's pain, you just don't go there. It'll just make it worse. The inflammation will get worse again, and then it'll never go away. I'm going to do one more. Here, go with my last one. I go out to the side. Good. And we're going to call it a day with the lemon and the stick and the shoulder exercises, and we're going to move on to our hips. Brian was just saying that he's not used to doing that lemon thing or that stick thing, and so he can feel it in his shoulders already. So maybe we should stretch a little bit of the shoulders before we move on to the hips. So let's just take the arm and bring it across our body, and we got to keep our shoulders down. We don't want to go like this. So let's just bring it across our body and grab it above the elbow. And now I got to lower my shoulder and get it, and pull my arm over there. That's it. Just gently do that shoulder stretch. Let me just finish up with the before I forget, with the apple cider vinegar, or is it the lemon? No, it's the apple cider vinegar. If you take that apple cider vinegar and you put a little teaspoon in a glass of water and you just sip it. Just sip it if you have an acid reflux reaction, pain in your chest or anything. Just sip the water very slowly. Take your time. Maybe do the whole glass in about a half an hour or even 15 minutes. But just sip it. That will help the reflux. Good work. Now, how long do we hold these stretches? Well, if we were in the stretch portion of our workout today, we would hold at least one of the exercises for 2 whole minutes. But we haven't got 2 whole minutes because the weather is saying. So I'm going to take the other one across my body and grab it above the elbow, between the elbow and the shoulder, and any way you want, and then get my shoulders relaxed and pull it across. Right. I like the stick. I do that every day. I like the lemon. I do that every day. Those are 2 of my favorites. And the arm swings, I do them every day too. Yep. You can get creative, Just move the shoulder with intention the best you can. Okay, good. Relax that. And what we're going to do is we'll do one more shoulder stretch. We're going to shove our shoulders up to our ears. So that's position 1. Just let our arms hang there. Push them up to your ears. And what part of our shoulder are we stretching? We're stretching the trapezius muscle. Remember, it's a giant muscle. It comes down below your ears. Okay? It goes into your shoulders and covers the deltoids, and then goes all the way down into your back and covers your shoulder blades. Good. Let's just push our hands right into the ground. Right down as far as we can. Really exaggerate this, like really push the palms into the ground while you stand here. That's the opposite to this one. Push it down. Remember, complementary muscle or complementary positions. There's always something that balances you. And then let's take our shoulders and pull them forward. The shoulders are coming forward, my back's rounding, pulling it forward. And really, really pulling them the best I can without pain. And then we'll do one more, and we'll push them back as far as we can. So there's 4 positions: up, down, forward, and back. You could do, if you wanted to work them into a shoulder routine, you could do them, in each position for 3. It could look like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, forward, 2, 3, and do it 10 times. You could, or you can hold them and call it a stretch. I think it's time for the hips. Let's just get right into the hips. Okay, so we're going to stand in shoulder width apart. Now, do we need a cane? Do we need a chair? I don't know, Brian. He's going to use the table. Yeah, you can see him. I'm going to use, I'll use this chair. Sometimes I'll use it, sometimes I won't, depending on my balance today. But we're working the hips and we're working the core muscles deep inside our body that allow us to have great balance. So if I'm standing beside a chair or a table, the outside leg is going in the air. Okay, I don't care where you put it. You can have it way up here or way out there, but just have it off the ground. Right. Okay, just hold it. I'm holding onto the chair. That's a stable thing, and it's helping me be more stable. And I'm trying to stand up as tall as possible with my leg off the ground. And you think, is this really doing anything? Of course it is. It's working that stable leg that's supporting you, your hips, your knees, your ankles, your shoulder, all on that side. You're working that. And you're working your core muscles deep inside your body to keep this leg off the ground. Good. Now we've got it pretty good. We've had it for about 20 seconds. Let's lift our knee up. And then we're going to kick. It's not really a kick, it's a push with the bottom of our foot behind. It's like a donkey. They call it a donkey kick, but I call it a donkey push. So my leg is in the air as high as I can get it, and I push the donkey away. Get away from me, donkey. Or I'm the donkey. I'm telling whatever's trying to attack me to get away. Can you feel that in your supporting leg yet?
Not yet.
Not yet? You will. How many am I going to do? Well, let's say 10. See if we can get to 10 before we switch sides. So it's the donkey kick. Working the hips. You're thinking, well, these hips are pretty amazing. They're almost as amazing as the shoulders. They allow you to move in all kinds of directions. Up and down and forward and back and side to side. One more. Okay, doke. I got to go to the other side, so I'm going to move my chair. Brian, you can turn around.
Yep.
Right. You can still see Brian?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so it's the outside leg we get off the ground first of all. Okay. It's off the ground. And when you're ready, you think, okay, I think I'm pretty stable. My foot that's supporting me on the ground, I've got my toes apart the best I can. I'm pushing with my heel into the deck and the sides of my feet. That's why bare feet, no shoes or socks is better when you exercise than some kind of, so my knee's up, some kind of footwear, and I push back. My leg is not straight when I push back, it's still bent. I'm just kicking with the bottom of my foot, or pushing with the bottom of my foot. Standing up nice and tall. We'll say that's 4, we just need 6 more of these. Yeah, and Brian's going at a little faster speed, which is fine. As long as his form is perfect, you can go as fast as you want. Maybe that's at a different level, right? Maybe people who are beginning have to slow down. But slow seems a lot harder to me. It's because when you go fast, gravity's helping you. Good, that's 10. Good work. Good work. Back to the other side. So we went forward and back with our hips. We want to go to the side now. So Brian, he's holding on. He's going to use the leg that's out here. So I'm on my one foot again. Bring my knee up. Okay, I'm going to go out to the side and come back. Out to the side and come back. Right. If you need to come back and put it down and rest and go, okay, wait a minute. Okay, I'm ready again. Up to this. We can go like this. So we could go from the floor, up in front, out to the side, back in front, and down. Or we can just keep doing them because we have to do 10. At least we want to do 10. And my knee's pretty high. Like if you can't get it up that high and you're down here, you're still working your hips. It's just that you're working more of your hips. And I'm straight ahead. I'm not doing this. I'm not turning and looking at Brian. I'm just moving that leg. And one more. I love that. Try the other side. Let's just do 10 of those. I'm going to try doing it without the chair. So I got my knee up. 1. There's 2. Really working the core now because I don't have a chair to help me. Whoa. I wonder if I took my arms and made a T. That doesn't seem to help either. But I haven't touched the chair yet. 2 more. 1 more. Good. And then 1 more on each side, a different one. So we've done forward and back. We've done side to side. Now we want to go in a circle because our hips allow our legs to go in a circle. So I don't care how high off the ground it is, but I'll tell you something. If it's high, it's harder. If it's farther out, it's harder. If you keep it really close to your center here, it'll be easier. And I want to flex my foot. So that means I have to Bring my toes to my face. Flex my foot. That tightens up my calf muscle, my gastrocnemius calf muscle. So I'm got my foot off the ground, got my foot flexed. I'm going to make figure eights. Oh yes. Doesn't matter which way you go. Just make figure eights. So I'm doing 5 more. 5, 4. Is that okay, Brian?
Yeah.
3.
It's hard on the balance.
Yeah, 2. That's why we're doing it. And with the hips, 1. And the other side with the 10 figure eights, and we're done. With the chair, without the chair. Flex your foot. Okay? You can have it way out here and do it, or close to the chair. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more. Looking straight ahead, 9, 10. Good work. We don't need a chair. For the next one, we are going to do, by the way, we are going to do a little bit of everything just before we get to the knees. Okay? A little bit. So if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll know that I do the Golden 8. They're called the Golden 8 Energy Balancing Exercises. Fancy term for work your whole body with 8 exercises. We're not doing all 8. We're just doing a couple because we're in a sort of like a rest period here. Maybe I should have a drink. What you, Brian? You got any water?
I've got 2 bottles.
Get 2 bottles of water. Well, 2 bottles of water is better than no water. Okay, so anyway, here we go. So we're going to just check to see how our back is. Before we go into the knees, which involves a few squats, we're going to just check and see how our back is. So with my feet shoulder width apart, my arms slowly come out to the side, all the way to the top, keeping them straight. And then I'm going to hinge at the hips and push my bum back, keep my legs straight, and see if I can touch the floor. Slowly, keep your legs straight, tighten the legs up. See if you can get to the floor with your fingertips. Are you touching, Brian?
I'm about 3 feet away.
3 feet away. Slowly, slowly come up. Let the hands come up the front. 1 vertebrae at a time. You're up at the top. Am I dizzy? A little bit.
Yeah.
So my blood pressure sometimes goes down when I bend, sometimes goes up. Probably more down than up, which will make you not balanced and you'll feel like you're going to fall over. So I think I'm ready. I'll just do it one more time just to see if I can get a little lower. So I come up. There we go. Bend. Push the hips back. Keep the legs straight. Don't cheat. Don't bend your knees. Or bend out the knees. I'm a little closer, but not much. So I'm coming back up. Slowly up the front of my body. That's interesting, right? Okay, and then there's one more. I'm going to put my hands on my hips. There's 8 exercises. By the way, that's called Bend for Health. This one is called Around the World. So I have my hands on my hips. I remember I always talk about these core muscles deep inside your body. Well, there's 4 of them that are really important. The other ones are important too, but there are 4 main ones. And one of those 4 is your Kegel muscles. And your Kegel muscles are in your pelvic floor. They're down here. And my fingers in front of my hip bone. If I squeeze those Kegel muscles, I should feel a little twinge. Let me undo my clothes here and get a hold of my skin. There, I got my fingers on my skin. Right? Thumbs are behind. I'm just holding my hands on my hips. So now I'm going to just stand and shut up for a minute and I'm going to try to Kegel. That means squeeze my Kegel muscles and see if my fingertips feel a sensation. Well, maybe I've got too much fat there. Maybe I just have weak Kegel muscles and I can't feel. But your Kegel muscles are the muscles that if you're a male and you're standing and you're peeing and you've peed all the urine out of your bladder and then you think, no, I think there's more in there. So you squeeze and then you push again. You're using those Kegel muscles to do that. And when you have to pee and you don't want to and you're a woman, You just kegel, that means squeeze them, contract them, and then the pelvic floor muscles close up your urethra and no pee comes out of your bladder. Anyway, so why I'm telling you all that? Because I'm going to, as I do this around the world, one of the golden eights, I think Kegel muscles. Yeah, I heard somebody mention that I got Kegel muscles. I wonder where the hell they are. I wonder if I can squeeze them throughout the whole around the world. So I'm going to bend forward, my feet are shoulder width apart, and I bow to the Queen, or maybe Prime Minister Trudeau, or maybe Donald Trump, right? And then I'm going to lean back a little bit and see if it's sunny out. And then I'm going to lean forward again. You know what? I'm kegling while I do this. And the reason I know I'm kegling is because my fingers that are on my hips feel like there's some tension there.
Whoops.
Yeah. Sometimes my kegels come and go. Sometimes I don't concentrate and then they disappear. They relax. This is the third forward and back. The whole exercise is called around the world. Let's just lean, push one hip, keep your hands on your hips. Take your time, go the other side slowly. Keep kegling if you can. This is when you get to kegel. Side to side 3 times. Forward and back 3 times. It's getting cloudier. Boy, our gardens need it. Thank goodness, because tomorrow I think is going to be sunny but cooler. I don't know if I did 3 times, but let's say I did. And then the last part of this is just turn without moving your feet. You see how far you can twist. Use that elbow, Brian, to push back. Good. And slowly come to the front. Brian's doing a great job here. And let's go the other way. So this elbow here, I'm pushing it back. That's one. We've got to do another 2. So we go on the one side. Oh, my range of motion is really good on that side. Remember? That's my left side is my better side. This side I need to practice more. Last twist. Here we go. Take your time. And here we go. Now we're ready to go around the world. So we're going to lean forward a little bit, and then we're going to come to the side that we twisted on, and then we're going to lean to the back, take our time, and then we'll lean, twist to the other side, and come to the front. Then we're going to untwist. We're going to go that way, around the world that way, and to the front. And up we go. So of course what I do is I warm up by going like this, and 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 like this. And then when I think I'm warmed up, all the muscles that involve doing that, they're all ready to go, lots of oxygen comes out of the blood, remember? Anyway, then I go around the world. So I might lean way down here and then go way over to the side and way to the back, pushing my feet into the floor and way over to the other side, way to the front, and then unwind myself. I can feel that in lots of places, especially my low back, and come up and call that 1, and then do it again, and then do it again. So that would be around the world from the golden eights. It's time for the knees. So let's just work right into the knees. We're going to put our feet together. We're going to put our hands on our knees, and we're going to make little circles. Doesn't matter which way you go. I like to look up. You could look down. That's okay. Because you don't want to fall over and your feet are together, so your balance isn't quite as good, right? Working the knees. Let's go the other way. 3, 4, 5. I'm slowing down. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm doing that just because Brian said sometimes you do like 100 and you're only supposed to do 10. It's all up to you. You can do 3. Some people can only do 3 of different exercises, and then they're done. Not because they got to go shopping. Okay, so now we might need the chair again. You might not. So Brian, you use the chair to hold on to, and I'm not going to use the chair at all. I'm just going to stand here on 1 foot. So I want you to stand on 1 foot, Brian.
Right.
So it's probably the one that's, yeah, like that. And then I want you to look down at the supporting leg and make sure the knee is over top of the middle of your foot. Is it? Good. Then go down a little bit into a mini squat, a shrimp squat they call it, and back up. So I'm looking down to make sure my knee tracks over top of the middle of my foot. The other leg's off the ground. I'm not holding onto a chair because I've done this so many times I don't need the chair anymore. I had a chair at the beginning, don't get me wrong here. I went from a couple of these exercises using a chair to this. I can do a shrimp squat without the chair. And one more. Good, let's try the other side when you're ready. So I'm thinking, okay, shake that leg out. Okay, so Brian's gonna turn around. He's gonna get on one foot, holding onto the chair, check his knee to make sure it's over the middle of his foot, and then do a little bit of a push down. That means bend that supporting leg so that the knee is over top of the middle of the foot. It's all about his quad and his hamstrings and his knee. If you have a strong knee and all the meniscus muscles around the knee are strong, and strong hamstrings and quad muscles, you will have no trouble walking, running, dancing, jumping, whatever you want. But if you don't do this, you'll have lots of trouble. Okay, relax. So one of the things when you do that exercise, that shrimp squat exercise, is that when you've got your leg here in the air and you're focused on this side, try to get that leg bent and bring that knee toward the ground a little bit more, keeping it bent the whole time. So not only is this over top of the middle of the foot, this leg is bent and that knee is going straight down as you're going up and down. It's not just hanging there and you're doing this, right? Or some people think, well, I can't do that at all. Can I have my foot down like I'm in a lunge position? Yes, you could do this, lunge. That's what a lunge is. It's a shrimp squat. Depends if you're going to lunge all the way to the ground and all the way back up. But that knee has to track over the middle of the foot. And it would be nice if you didn't need a chair and you could have your leg bent and then do it. That would be nice, okay? Good. Now I don't think we need the chair, but we'll do a couple with the chair and then a couple without the chair, and they're called squats. So where's my chair? Here's my chair. I'll sit right beside Brian. Okay, Brian, just sitting in your chair. Ah, that feels good. Now, if you sit back in your chair like you normally would, the chair is designed for people who don't exercise. It's designed for people who want to have back problems because it's curved. And if you sit like this in your car, at your computer desk, or in the backyard having a little cocktail or whatever, made out of water and apple cider vinegar with mother and salt and maybe a little lemon, you're just perpetuating the low back problem. So you want to, I don't care what the chair is, you want to sit up tall, okay? And when you're ready, this has no handles on it, but that's okay. You can, if you have handles, you can. I want to hold on to the chair. My feet are shoulder width apart, and I just want to stand up. Now to do that, I have to lean forward a little bit to get my center of gravity over the middle of my body here where I'm going to stand when I'm standing. And I'm using the chair and I'm standing up. And then when I sit down again, I go, where the hell's the chair? There it is. Now I'll put my bum down and I sit up nice and tall. And we call that a squat. And we've done one. Stand up and you go, good, my form is perfect. Where's the chair? Sit down. Now some people bend over to do this. It's because they have a weak low back. If you can keep your head up, if you did it in front of a mirror, that'd be good. Because then you could watch where your upper body is. You could look at yourself and go, don't bend over. Now this time when we come down, we're just going to graze the chair and come right back up. So where the heck's the chair? There it is, and back up. Two more of those. So we've done our regular squats with the chair. Can we try them without the chair? Let's just get up with a squat. Okay, and get rid of our chairs. Brian, you have no chair, don't sit down.
All right.
Okay, we're just going to do a squat, so our feet are shoulder width apart. And when we do this, we're pushing with the outsides of our feet into the deck, the insides in the bottom of our heels, and our toes are spread and everything's pushing down for stability, right? And our feet are below our shoulders, right? And I'm going to push back with my hips. My bum's going back. My hips are, I'm a little bit of a tilt. I'm not like this, just a little bit of a tilt. Okay, and I'm going to bring my, come up again. I'm going to bring my arms out straight as I squat. I wonder how far I can go. Let's just do 3. That's 1. That's perfect. 2. Go as far down as you can with your head up with no pain. That's 3. Good work. Now we have to stretch the quads and the hamstrings. So the one that we've used for years, Brian, you know this and so do I, because we've been both Y members, local YMCA members forever. And they always did the quad hamstring, well, this is the quad stretch, by grabbing our ankle or our foot and bending it and putting our knees together and standing up nice and tall. So we're stretching our quad muscles, standing up. And if we push the foot into the palm, as opposed to yanking the foot up, we push the foot down, we'll get a better stretch. If we yank it up, we might damage the knee muscles. So I'm standing up tall, I'm pushing my foot into my palm, I'm trying to get my knees right together, and I'm standing on one leg. And maybe I don't need the chair. But if I was doing this stretch properly, at the end of my workout, I would hold this for 2 whole minutes. Not 10 seconds, not 20, not 30. 2 whole minutes. But that's stretching the quad, okay? Let's try the other side. So this is my weak side when it comes to my knee.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab my foot. I'm lucky if I can even do that. Some people go, well, I can't even bend it any more than that. So then what I do is I just hold on to my leg somewhere, my pants or something, and get my knees together and stand there. Can I bend it a little more? No. Can I hold on to the bottom? Maybe. And get my knees together, stand up tall. Push down with my foot into my palm. Don't yank it up. Stretching the knees because you're stretching the quads. And how long do you hold it? 2 minutes, but we haven't got 2 minutes right now. So what we're going to do here is we're going to stretch the hamstrings. So we can use the chair if you need to, but you're going to put one foot out in front of the other with the heel and the toes pointing up. The other one, I'm going to adjust it so I feel like I'm in. Maybe I don't need the chair for this, maybe I do. Maybe I have to put the chair out here, I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to try without the chair. So I'm just going to sit into my chair that isn't there and try to straighten that leg as much as possible. What do I do with my hands? Maybe hold on to my quads. You can feel the quad on this side, the supporting leg getting really tight. I'm flexing my foot on that leg that's straight out in front of me. A heel dig stretch. Works the hamstrings. Anytime you straighten that leg, you're working the hamstrings. And it's in a stretch position. Let's try the other leg. So the leg comes out in front. Straighten it. Hold on to my quads maybe and sit back into a little squat. Flex that foot down there. You can feel it when you do that in your straight leg hamstrings above the knee, between the hips and the knee. You know what? It's time for some weights. We've been working without weights, but we have body weight. So you do have weights. It's your body weight. But now we're going to use real weight. So I have a weight. It says on it 3 pounds. Brian's got the other one. We're doing this on purpose. We're just using one on purpose. If you don't have a light weight, remember you can go into your cupboard and get out a can of kidney beans, red kidney beans. You could. Or get something, a rock from your garden. Something that you don't want to worry about it breaking if you drop it. But we're not going to drop this. It's only 3 pounds. Now, how do I know that this is right for me? Well, I'm going to just put it over my head, and then bring it down again, and then put it over my head, and do it again, and think to myself, is this easy? Because if it isn't easy, I mean like super easy, you could do it all day long. Well, maybe you could do it for like 10 minutes. If you can't, it's too heavy. You got to get something lighter. And if there's nothing you could do that, because your arm just won't cooperate, even without a weight, for 10 minutes, at whatever speed you want to go at, then you're not going to use any weights at all. You're just going to use your arm without the weights. So here I go. I'm going to work quite a few body parts. I think there's about 12 moves here, maybe 15 moves. And I'll try to do each one for 5 or maybe 10 reps in there, and then I'll switch to the second one. And I'll pause in between. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our arm up with the weight in a goalpost position. And there's the 90 degrees. And if I look straight ahead, I can see it. My peripheral vision allows me to see it. So if I'm back here and I can't see it, bring it forward a little bit. And then this arm doesn't have a weight, so we're going to use it too. It's going to feel a little funny because we're going to push overhead, straighten it. Right, we're going to do 1, 2, about that speed, 3, I got my hands clenched here, 4, pretending that I'm holding on to a weight, 5, why do I do that? 6, it activates some of my core muscles when I squeeze my hands together, 8, 9, 10. Relax, switch sides. You're ready to go? When you're ready, come on down, Brian. Good. 1, 2, keep the arms in 90-degree goalpost position. 3, not too far back. 4, straight up. 5, standing in neutral. 6, feet shoulder width apart. 7, wouldn't you love it if the instructor just shut up? 1 more. Switch sides. That's an overhead press. These are your pec muscles, your pectoral muscles. So we're going to bring them in to touch the forearms together and bring them back out. But they're going to stay in the goalpost position. That means 90 degrees at the joint, the elbow joint. That was 3 already. 4. What about the bottom of our body? 5. 6, cross over your legs, Brian, as you do it.
I'll fall over. 7,
okay, don't. 8, always work the bottom if you can when you're working the top, and vice versa. 1 more. 10. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pec presses. We had an overhead press, and now a pec press. And a press is just a push and a pull. So this is a push together and a pull back. 1 more. 1 more. If I don't get 10 or I get 9 or I get 11, that doesn't matter. By the way, remember this one, the overhead press? I could have done this with the lower part of my body. I just forgot. Okay, good. Number 3 coming up, Dairy Queen dip. So to do the Dairy Queen dip, I'm going to bring my feet together. And all I'm going to do is take my upper arms and dip to get the drink, right? This is the bird, the weight, and it's getting a little. So as I do that, I push my knees forward and together, just a little bit. It's a little bit of a shrimp squat, isn't it? So shrimp squat, Dairy Queen dip is the exercise. Upper body, Dairy Queen dip. Yeah, just 5 more. 5, 4, about that speed is perfect. 3, 2, the sun's coming out, great. 1, relax, other side, legs together, goalposts, little shrimp squat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, more. Good, the shrimp squat. Now our legs are going really wide apart because we're going to hug the giant tree in front of us. And guess what kind of a tree it is, Brian?
Oak tree.
It's not an oak tree. Do you have any oak trees in your yard?
No.
I see that one with the white bark. What's that?
That's a birch, paper birch.
You know what the paper birch does? They use the paper birch tree to make aspirins.
Right.
It's not the aspirin, it's what's in the aspirin that does the job for inflammation. And that it comes from that stuff, that chemical for the aspirin, it comes from that birch tree. And also, they put a chemical from that tree into another a pill. I forget what it is. I better not tell you about it because I forget what it is. Just remember, the birch tree is your aspirin tree. Okay, but we're going to hug the birch tree. So my feet are pretty wide apart. My toes are pointing straight ahead. I've got my weight in one hand, and I'm just going to grab the tree like this and squeeze it and give it a big hug. So I have to lean forward. My legs are straight. I'm just reaching around and grabbing the tree. Now, if it's a little skinny tree, you can squeeze it like this, give it a hug like that. If it's a great big tree, you might only get out to here. But we've already done 5 hugs already, so let's do 4 more. 3, 2, are my legs bending? Yep. 1. Let's do 3 more because they're so important. 3, 2, 1. Good, relax. Switch sides with the weight. Here we go again, 10 more hugs. It's a big tree. 1, 2, hug it. 3. The doctor told me once I should take an 8 milligrams or millimeters or mgs or whatever of aspirin, milligrams every day. And you should pop one of those if you're having a heart attack.
Low dosage.
Yeah, low dosage. 1 more. Good, the hug. Oh, good touch. Remember the leg out in front? Well, we're going to go like this. We're going to do a bicep curl. So we're going to curl up and curl down. We're going to keep our elbows close to our spine, our sides, our obliques. Keep them there. And we're going to do a bicep curl as we put our heel out. Like that. And if you can't get it way out and get really low, you can just sort of touch with your heel like that as you do your bicep curls. So this is called the scoop. You're scooping. I'm sitting into the chair. I'm doing a mini squat, a mini shrimp squat. I'm doing that stretching of the hamstrings by straightening my leg out in front with my heel on the ground. And I'm working my biceps all at the same time. Holy cats, switch sides. Let's just do 10 of those. This time I'm not going to say a word, I'm just going to count in my head. So which foot goes out? The outside leg. Weights here. This goes out like this. That's 1. So here we go, Brian. 1. Other foot. And the complementary muscle to your bicep is your tricep. We can do that a number of ways. We're going to do it 2 ways. But anyway, we're going to stick our arm up so that our elbow is about as high as our shoulder, if we can. If we can only get it to here, that's fine. Right? And then we're going to straighten it. And bring it back and straighten it. But I'm going to get that elbow up and get the other one up there too. And maybe I'll get my feet shoulder width apart, and maybe I'll lean forward a little bit. Makes it kind of easy. And go push back. So it's a push and a pull. It's a push and a pull. It's a tricep kick back. You're kicking back with your hands. They might have weights, they might not. And it's a tricep kickback. Yes, if I stood up taller, it's harder to get my elbows higher up. So I'll keep them lower. Can I stand up like this and do it? Sure. But we want to work a little bit. So we'll bend over a little bit. If If there's a mirror in front of you, that's even better. One more. Switch sides. I'm just going to do 10 without me talking. Elbows up nice and high. Let's go. Kick back. Forgot about my lower body. Why not do the lunge back? 3 more. Ryan, you're doing great.
Nice.
And he's not moving his feet, but he has a reason. He's going to work on that, right?
Yep.
Okay, so let's just take the lovely weight and put it in our hands and get it right over top of our head, right? And then just lower it behind our head and straighten it up. So I'll get down a little lower here so you can see. I'm lowering it and straightening it. Now the key to this is, are your arms straight? And are the eyes of the elbow, the inside of your elbow, are they touching your head? Good. Down we go. Up. Right. Now watch what I'm going to do. When I go up, I'm going to go up on the balls of my feet and lift my heels up. Rest. Push. Rest. Lift your heels a little bit. Good. So we're going to do 10. 9, working the triceps. There's the kick back, and then there's the overhead tricep. Lifting your heels. Exercise that's been around forever. 1 more. Now you might say, well, you did the kick back on this side, and you did the kick back on that side, and then you did the overhead for the triceps, and when you did the biceps, you didn't do it 3 times, you just did it twice. That's because these things need more work than these things, because people ignore these, even though they work in conjunction with this one. Okay? All right, now we're going to get our feet. Oh, remember the one foot is back and it's on a 45-degree angle and the other one's straight ahead, like this? Remember this reaching at the beginning thing? Well, we're going to take the weight on the side with the foot that's back, and we're going to rest our forearm on our quad, and we're going to row your boat. Right. So let's pull it up. Is that easy, Brian?
Relatively.
So then let's do this. Without lifting our forearm, let's lift it up to our shoulder, the weight, and then turn and push it up to heaven. And come back to the shoulder and come back down. So you're pulling it up, you're rowing, and you're doing a little twist, straightening your arm and coming back down. Now if you can't do that without falling over,
Almost.
then don't fall over, or just do 1 or 2 of them. Go back to just row your boat. You could always get a heavier weight if you feel like this is a waste of time, but not too heavy. Or you can do the twist. And when I twist, I look with my head too to see what I'm doing with that arm in the air. 1 more. Good. We're going to come up slowly by pushing on our quad, not our knee. Push, 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 push. Straighten up. Change sides. So 1 foot is straight out, and the other one is back. It's on a 45-degree angle. Switch weights. So the hand that's down here doing the rowing, it's got the weight, and you pull it up to your shoulder. And you think, my forearm is on my knee, not my knee, my quad. Yeah, get it off your knee. So I think I'll do a twist here. I come up to my shoulder and I twist, straighten my arm and look. Come back down, roll again. Straighten it and twist. Not easy. It's a lot of core. I might fall over. Maybe I'll just leave it at that and roll for 3 more times. There's 2. There's 1. Good. Come up and you're all set for a really fun one. So my feet are shoulder width apart, maybe a little wider. They're straight ahead, right? I got the weight in my hands. Both hands are touching the weight. It's right in front of me, and I'm going to hinge at the hips and hang over like I'm a bend for health person, and I'm going to push my hips forward rather quickly, and the weight's coming up to here. No higher. So when I'm ready, I gradually push, and it's a hip thrust with the weight. It's a hip thrust.
I can feel it in the back of my
Yeah, and if it's too hard, you can come up slowly. You're still working your hips, but not quite the same. You can maybe try a little gentle thrust. Now that word thrust, it brings back memories for me. And that's as far as I'll go with the story.
I can't wait for that.
Right. Let's do 3 more thrusts. 2 more thrusts. 1 more thrust. Good, stay down here. Just get one hand with the weight. And thrust up once. And come down and switch. And thrust up again. And come down and switch. Up. Switch. Up. 1 more time on each side. Up. Up. Good. We did 3 of those thrusts on each side after we did 10 of them like that, right? Okay, now we're here with the weight. Get it over our head. So now we're going to bend at the knee and we're going to do a squat and we're going to bring it right down between our legs. Swing it all the way back up. So this is the swing. Now you might think, well, I got to know why I'm doing this, otherwise it's not with intention. It's just moving. I might as well just do my yard work, or my garden, or my inside work. Well, do all those things, but make sure you work with intention. And so I'm thinking, well, I'm doing a squat, so I'm working my quads and my hamstrings, and I'm lowering my hips, so I'm working my hips, and I'm working my low back so I can be stable when I straighten up, working my shoulders. That's the last one. Good work. Good. I think I'll leave it at that because I think we've been doing too much standing up and we need to get on the floor for a few before we cool down and tricked me. When I shut the camera off, he got down on the mat. He didn't show me how he did it. I don't care how he did it. As long as he's safe and he's not hurting any body parts, that's how you get down on the mat. I'll show you the way that I get down on the mat because I want you to see something that is, I think, easy enough for everybody. So I'm standing here in neutral. I'm using my hands and I'm thinking I'm going to step back with one leg. The farther back I go, the lower that knee is on that side to the mat. Like if I'm here, it's higher up than as if it's back here. So if it's back there, now I'm going to lower that knee to the mat and use my hands and maybe look down. There. See?
Starting position.
Yes, and now I can let go of this just so I can get that leg to swing it out. And now I'm on the mat. I'm not sitting yet. I might have to adjust my hands and just use my hips and sit down.
Is that what we're doing?
So we're going to sit down. So Brian's in the table position. Just get in the sitting position. Now notice, I'm sitting here like this with my legs apart. I want to put them in the 90-90 position. I don't care if I use this 90-90 or whether I use this 90-90 because eventually we're going to go to both sides. So you use whatever you want. Maybe I'll start with this way. So 90-90 means this. It's 90 degrees at the knee. My leg goes straight down and it goes straight across. It's like a 90-degree corner, right? And my foot's 90-90 too at the ankle. So I haven't got my toe pointed or flexed. It's just 90 degrees at the ankle, 90 degrees here. And the other one is too. So the other one is 90-90 too. Now even though this knee likes to come off the ground, that just means that my low back isn't quite where it should be. I'm at 90-90 at the knee. Maybe I'll move my heel in a little bit. 90-90 at the ankle. And if you're in the right 90-90, you'll have either a rectangle or a square in between your crotch area, in between the legs. So from my knee to my hip, to my knee, to my ankle, to my knee, to my ankle, to my knee, to my hip, forms a square with a space in the middle, or it's a rectangle, depending on the length of your legs. Right? That's where you want to be, the 90-90. Now, the leg that is up here close to me, not this one, I'm going to take my hand and hold it down on the ground. And I'm going to push, go away, Aunt. I'm going to push on the inside of the leg, not on the knee. I'm not grabbing the kneecap and pulling it. I'm pushing down. And that's when I lift this one up as high as I can get it and bring it back down. So I'm pushing down, holding it there and lifting the other leg without lifting the foot. Just lift the knee up. You'll feel it in your adductors, in between your knee and your crotch area. You'll feel it in here. You'll feel it in your abductors, your adductors, and you'll feel it in your hips, and you might feel it in your knee. Who knows where you're going to feel it? But push this one down. Even if you have to lean into it, push it down and lift. 1. Even if it's coming up a little bit. 2. 3. 4. 5. Boy, oh boy, 6. This, right in here, I'm getting a cramp. 7. 8. It's not bad enough for me to stop, but I can feel it. 9. 10. Oh my God, I gotta straighten that leg and sit up.
That's brutal.
That is brutal, is right.
His dick's hard.
And we're just getting started. So because I had that cramp there, I want to make note of that. If I ever get it again, I gotta figure out how to work that side of my body, especially in that hip, with all these exercises so I don't get the cramp. I'm gonna flip it over into 90-90 on the other side. See if I can create that square in between my legs. And this knee is up again. Come on, push down with the knee with the inside of my hand there. And then when I'm ready, I lift the other knee up and count. 1, 2. Working tons of lower body. 3. And upper body. 4. Because if I let go of my hand here, this knee would come up. I don't want it to come up because I want to work the muscles inside my leg, outside my leg, my hips, my bum, the whole works there. Just do 3 more. 3. No cramp on that side. 2. It's stiff though. 1. Good. Straighten the leg and just sit in neutral, whatever that is for you. Okay, now watch this. I'm going back to the 90-90 where I started. Okay? I'm going to grab this leg at the ankle and see if I can let go of this hand. Because if I just let go of the hand, I'll fall over. And this isn't doing anything. It's not even helping me. So why not grab a hold of something that's stable and let go of this hand and see if you can do that. I can feel that right in my obliques right here. Just as soon as I put the hand down, it relaxes. So I let go, got this up. Maybe I can grab the other ankle. And now, if I can get to this position, can I just hold it? Or can I lean forward a little bit and come back up straight? Lean forward, I'm holding onto my ankles, sort of. Lean forward, up straight. You can't even see me moving, right? Some people can lean forward a long ways. And I'm counting to 10. Oh. Because this isn't fun, I'm going to put my hand down and letting go, and I'm straightening the leg. Because it isn't fun, I tend to leave the things that aren't fun out of my workout. No, you want to put them in. They won't be fun at first, but as soon as you master them, they'll be fun. So I'm on the other side to make my 90-90. So I'm going to grab a hold of the ankle with this hand, and I'm going to grab a hold of this ankle. That seemed like a lot easier. Even though this knee is up, I can at least hold on to my ankles and I'm not falling over, and I'm leaning forward. 1, 2, pulling with my hands. 3, to help my torso come forward. 4, 5. Think about what you feel and where you feel it, because that's what you're working primarily. You're working lots of things though, even though you don't know it sometimes. And 1 more. And so I'm going to let go of the hands and just stay here for a second. Now, there are 3 positions, maybe more, but I like these 3 positions. Number 1, I'm going to turn this way as much as I can. and see how far I can twist. And then I'm going to lean down toward the deck. 1, 2, feel that in my shoulder. 3, 4. Some people can do these exercises in the 90-90 without using their hands for stability. That's because they practice. Practice makes permanent. Not perfect, but permanent. There's no such thing as perfect. That's enough. Good, that's enough. Now I'm staying over here, but this time I'm going to present myself in the other direction. So I'm going to go to the front. So I'll adjust my hands and lean into the front. Brian, you got more ants than I have. 3.
Really?
Yeah.
But I don't have
4.
flexibility like you do.
No, but I might have more flexibility for 2 reasons. Number 1, I'm younger. Number 2, I work at this, I think, more than you do. Just because I have to make these videos every day for the whole wide world to live longer.
This is my first time to this.
Right. So he knows what 90-90 means, though. So if he can get into this 90-90 position and just hold it here and hold that down and lift this knee up, and that's it, and then switch sides, that's good enough. Okay? But by the way, I've done behind, I twisted, and then I lowered my body. I twisted to the front and lowered my body. You could twist and lower it over the knee and the thigh. You could do that. You could twist and try to go that way and try to work your way a little bit in that direction, but I'm going to go to the other side and just do one of these, and I think I'll do the front one. So the 90-90. So adjust your arm any way you want. There you go. I'm doing 1, lean forward, 2. Brian's on 6, here goes 7, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remember, there's lots of positions you can choose, do as much as you want. But anyway, get back into sitting in neutral. We're going to go from the seated position to getting up into a standing position the safest way possible. Find your chair and have a seat. From the top of Brian's head to the bottom of Brian's feet, he has nerves. They're going all the way down through all kinds of your body parts, bones and muscles and ligaments and tendons and fascia and everything else, and it's working its way down these nerves. All the way down and all the way back up. Because they carry the messages. Your brain wants to know what's going on. So these nerves carry the messages. Whenever you're not in the right position because you've done something wrong or you didn't exercise with intention, you just moved about the planet, but you didn't know what you were really moving, things will get inflamed, and that muscle that gets inflamed, or ligament or tendon or whatever it is, it'll push on the nerve and you'll get pain. That nervous system needs a break. It needs, if you don't have any inflammation, or if you've just got a little bit of inflammation, it needs to get back from the nerve and give the nerve a holiday. So here's where we're going to show you how to do this. So you're sitting here in neutral, your feet are flat on the floor, you're going to take one of them, I don't care which one, and you're going to put your heel down. Now if you can't do that because you're sitting too far back, sit up closer to the edge of the chair, make sure the chair is sturdy so you don't fall off, okay? And then you've got your foot pointing up to the ceiling, like your toe, pointing up like this. When your toe's pointing up like that, your head's got to be back. And that relaxes all the muscles and tissues away from the nerve, the sciatic nerve and the vagus nerve and all the other nerves. They get a holiday when you sit like this. So you can sit like that as long as you want, and then you can switch legs just because you got two sides to your body. Or you can put both of them out, do them both together. I don't care. Sit as long as you want, but give your nerves a break. Okay, that's the first thing. Now your nerves also want to have a break when you do this. So I'm going to take one leg, one foot to show you. I'm going to bring it under the chair so I can get my toe down. See, my heel's up, my toes down. If you've got a couch or something and you can't get your leg back, you've got to sit at the edge, kind of. You want your leg back as far as you can get it, with your toe down and your heel up. And when you're in that position with your toe down, your chin is down. So you do that side, the other side, or both them together. It's that simple. So if you've got pain somewhere, you might want to try this. What do they call it in the fitness world? They call it nerve flossing, like you floss your teeth. Well, you're not taking the nerve when you do these two positions. You're not taking the nerve and moving it back and forth. You're just relaxing everything around it. So it's a kind of floss. Okay? So I'm going to floss with my chin down and my toes down and my heels up. And then I'm going to floss with my toes up and my head up. And so in your workout, do that at the end. Watch Brian's face as Bob drinks from the giant jar of water. A little bit of lemon juice in there for flavoring from a real lemon, and a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar with mother. And that's his water for the day. I wonder if he'll drink it all. Let's see Brian's garden. Hi, Brian. Thanks for having me over today.
I enjoyed it. Yeah.
You like the workout?
Yeah, it's a bit tough towards the end, but that's me. I'm stiff.
Okay, well, anyway, thanks for the backyard. It's so beautiful. Can you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, we set this up so that it's almost workless. You see all the plants are all established. We've got lots of hostas and ferns. That's my wife's pond there. We have to have a cover over it because of the raccoons and the like. We're redesigning that. I'm in the throes of doing that at the moment. But you can see the hostas going around. There's all different shapes.
Oh, wait. Which one are the hostas?
The ones with the big leaves, like directly over there.
The big green leaves.
The big green leaves. And then there's one with two different kinds of green leaves. And you can see as you work your way around, they are the hostas.
And the ferns, where are the ferns?
The ferns there on the right-hand corner, just behind the marigold.
What's that thing on the stones down there? It looks like a rug.
Oh, I had an old canvas, so I do a bit of artwork. So I found some old paint the day before yesterday, and I threw some on to see if I could come up with a big Jackson Pollock style large canvas.
So you paint like Jackson Pollock?
Well,
isn't he the most famous impressionist painter ever?
Probably, yeah.
He's American, isn't he?
He was.
How did you learn to paint like Jackson Pollock?
I went to university for quite a while and learned about him.
You mean when you were like 20, you went to university?
No, I was 70 odd.
You went to university when you were 70?
Yeah, and then I read about Jackson Pollock, so I got a book on him, and I thought, how difficult can this be? So it took me 2 summers. We laid up stones in the corner there, because when I started off, I was throwing paint at the side of the house. So there's different styles and ways of throwing paint or putting paint on the canvas. So
do you have any of those finished in frames and?
Yeah.
And do you sell them to people?
Oh yeah.
How much would you sell a painting like that, a Jackson Pollock painting?
Big one like that?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe, I don't know, $2,000.
2,000?
Once it's framed and properly presented. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I just want you guys who are listening to know that I have one of his Jackson Pollock paintings in my house, and I love it, and I know something about art, and I've studied Jackson Pollock too, and his paintings look exactly like Jackson Pollock paintings, except maybe nicer. And I think it's worth the 2,000. But if you want to buy one, not that this is I'm not trying to sell anything here, but if you want to buy one, you could contact me, and I'll put you in touch with Brian. Anyway, what else, Brian? What have you got? What are those grapes growing on the fence?
Yes, they are. They're grapes. This purple is a Japanese maple.
Yeah.
It's been there about 10 or 12 years, and it's supposed to grow to 20 feet. I don't see it making that. And as we talked about earlier on, this is the paper birch. I put the clump in there. It's about half that size about 5 years ago.
The aspirin tree.
Yeah, the aspirin tree.
And why have you got a clock down there, Brian? Are you timing your workouts, or are you timing your art sessions, or what?
No, my wife likes to know what the time is, so there you go.
Okay, it looks like you have little lights. Hey, what's that in the garden down there? It looks like a head.
Yeah, that's Easter Island, man.
An Easter Island. So you do have some statues and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have any birds?
Birds.
You got a bird feeder right there.
Yeah, it needs topping up, that one does.
So you do get birds.
Yeah, and we get lots of squirrels here as well.
Squirrels? Why are the squirrels here?
Well, that's another thing. This, about 6 weeks ago, each corner of this lot here, I had trees about 50, 60, 70 foot tall, and we had to cut them down because they were ash and they had the ash borer.
Okay. Oh, otherwise you wouldn't cut the trees down, right?
No.
Just trim them, maybe.
No, but now that they've gone, there's no shade here.
Right.
There's more sunshine for the plants, and they've been very vibrant this year. And some of them seem to be about a third bigger than they normally would be because of the sunshine that they're getting.
Yeah, somebody told me the other day that they thought that because of COVID, less people are out in their cars driving around, less pollution, that the plants and the animals are enjoying this. The grass seems greener,
No doubt.
trees seemed healthier and bigger. I have to go, Brian. There's going to be a storm.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming over.
Okay.
I appreciate it. That was fun.
Okay, bye.